When I was 9 years old, my mother decided to marry a man with a red beard. Abuelo Enrique said, never trust a man with a beard. Could be hiding something. Cortez had a beard. You remember what happened to Othello, don't you? I kept looking for signs of insincerity, but never saw more than my stepfather's Viking grin. It was a staple of his old-time personality. He loved working on old roadsters and drinking Jack Daniels more than me or my mother. 4 years later, we left the trim suburbs for a 2-bedroom apartment, Chef Boyardee and coin laundry on Sunday. I never asked my mother why we gave up financial security, a house with 2 stories. I guess she figured out what the truth about the ugly truth about the bearded Viking. And I had to decide, was I going to grow a beard or not? My own father was a phantom, a wannabe philosopher who only called when he was inspired. He wrote dense letters packed like cigarettes with epistemology that burned my image of a man into an ashtray. He was not an Indian, but he still couldn't grow a beard or a bank account to save his life. One day, your acquaintances might only be the people who serve you drinks. You will smell like old newspaper and damp corduroy, and you will be held to account. You will only be held to account for your poetic solitudes, by your fatherless insecurities. Because one day, you have a son. The next day, he wants to walk, more like run, hallway to the door, back and forth, but he is not yet one, and he falls, banging his head on the hardwood floor and howling at the pain and the fright of falling. I pretend like nothing happened. As if I could fool my son out of his tears. But my son is looking at me like I'm a bully. Something inside me tells me he's right. You see, I could be gone. Gone looking for God. Gone looking out for number one. Gone to write my days of solitary adventure, corner stack of dog-eared books, pot of cold coffee, cigarette smoke, and sandwich meat. Yeah, I can grow a beard. Tell myself that this is what sacrifice looks like. This is what personal freedom looks like. But I want my son to trust the traits I carry. I want to be present to pick him up from that howling place. I want him to empathize and understand what dignity in the place of pride is, what responsibility in the place of attitude is, what a macho really looks like. So then I take his hands, I take his knees, I kiss his feet and his hands, so he knows that men can be trusted not to leave too. Thank you.